Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Fahd Dawood. I talk about real estate, specifically in Dubai, but you can take the principles I talk about and apply them internationally to your real estate investments. I talk about life and our path to financial bliss. Now, I want to talk about today how you could make $1 billion, billion dirhams, billion pounds. Sky's the limit in Dubai. Now, Dubai doesn't literally give you $1 billion, but it allows you, facilitates you, it gives you all the conditions, the environment right for you to come to Dubai, United Arab Emirates in general. Give what is required in terms of your thinking, followed by focused execution to allow that $1 billion to come to you. Now, I'm going to talk about three particular reasons or three particular things that I feel are very conducive to you making $1 billion in Dubai. And then I'm going to explain and get into each and every reason, okay? Before I get into it, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. I love doing more videos, the more encouragement I get. My children think I'm a real YouTuber, and then I can take them to VideoCon. I can get my play buttons, right? That's something that's awesome for me to get. Okay, check this out. My background first, why I might be somewhat of an expert, not just on real estate, but also to be able to speak on Dubai. I was born and raised in Dubai. My family's been here for 4 generations. So my children are essentially fourth generation in Dubai. My grandfather was a trader, a businessman here, and I've got his trade license to prove it in the 60s, right? So my family was business people here in the 1960s. 1962 is when he started his Dubai business, okay? And then my father, myself, and then my children. And I lived about 7 years. 7 years. I've traveled the world, but in 7 years, I also lived in Toronto, Canada, as a student for the first 4, and then I was working there as well. And then I returned to Dubai because my family, extended family, is based over here. So I know Dubai very well. I was born here. I was raised over here. I've interacted with the local population a lot, even though I'm an expat myself, originally from Pakistan, but I know the local population very well, the Arabs of the United Arab Emirates very well, because, you know, I was born and raised here, so it goes to say. Okay, so there's 3 reasons, okay? Number 1, I'm going to talk about the abundance mentality and what and how it leads to people becoming successful over here. I'm going to talk about how the government, instead of trying to become partners of your business by taxing you heavy, are really facilitators in your success. And number 3, I'm going to talk about Dubai's population and what that means for the next boom that's going to be, in my personal opinion, the next boom that's going to really change the world, and how Dubai, being a trading hub, is going to propel itself forward in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years, so to speak. Okay, check this out. So number 1, Dubai, its rulers, and then the people who manage Dubai, okay, and United Arab Emirates in general, and then going downwards, has this abundance mentality, which means that there is not a lack of resources. Rather, they focus on how to maximize the utility of those resources. One of my earlier mentors, Nabil Abdul Khalik, who set up UPS in Canada with a 12-man team, right? So he was an American consultant, American-Pakistani consultant who set up UPS in Canada. The number 1 key phrase that I learned from him is, Fahd, always focus on the maximizing the value of your resources. And that's what I personally feel that Dubai does. It maximizes the value of its resources because it doesn't have a scarcity mentality. It has this abundance mentality, which says, you know what? If more people come to Dubai and more people build businesses here and more people buy property here and more people live here in harmony, right? So we're not attracting people with criminal backgrounds, people with insecure backgrounds, people who are trying to do harm to the country, but people who want to build a better standard of living for themselves. Dubai has this mentality. The more the people come, the bigger the pie gets, and the more there is to share, okay? I don't want to take any names of any particular countries in the region, but there are certain regions, there are certain countries in the region that say, you know, all this traffic on the Dubai roads is caused by caused by all these foreigners and these visitors to our country. So get rid of them, right? There are other countries who do that. Dubai doesn't do this, right? So I remember 2007, 2008 when traffic was at its absolute peak. I did not hear, I swear, I didn't hear one local of the United Arab Emirates or Dubai person say that, all these foreigners are here and because of them there's traffic on the roads, or because of them we can't get access to good hospital service, etc. Nobody ever complained. Instead, the Dubai government expanded, right? They built the first metro of the region, which has now been operating for over 10 years. They've got billions of passengers who've used it, and then they just managed this massive traffic situation and moved a ton of people using the Dubai metro. And now they've just opened the new metro, Route 2020, which was supposed to open for the Expo 2020. But I'm not going to get into this. I'm just going to get into the fact that the people who are in charge of Dubai and the United Arab Emirates, they welcome you because they've got this abundance mentality. And I think, I'm going to say this, I want to venture forth with this. I think that these are their traditional values that they have acquired from the way that the Arab mentality is. I'm going to say this, I was born and raised in Dubai. So I'm Pakistani, but I was born and raised amongst Arabs, and Arabs have a generous way of looking at things, okay? And it also comes from the religion that they follow, right? Islam being a tolerant, peaceful religion, it teaches us that your guests are welcome, help the wayfarer, help the traveler, etc., etc. And I feel that the Arabs have this generous abundance mentality where they sometimes might even sacrifice some of their own needs for the needs of the others around them, okay? I still remember one episode where we were traveling. I was traveling with my family. I was young. I think I was 14 years old, 15 years old. And we were traveling by road to Saudi Arabia. And I think we were now coming back from Saudi Arabia back to Dubai. It's 2,000-kilometer journey. It's pretty long, but hey, it was an adventure. And I remember my father pulled to the side of the road while we were driving. It was nighttime, and we saw this huge 4x4 four-wheeler. I think it was a Land Cruiser, a Nissan Patrol. And we could, I remember my father pulled to the side because he recognized it was a Dubai number plate, but we're in the middle of the desert somewhere, right? But the road's pretty good, but it's dark. We're in the middle of the desert. And it was this young Arab family, a man, his wife, and a few children. They had some problem with their, I think, tire or car or something. My dad was with his family, and I think generally speaking, it would be in some other country perhaps unsafe to stop by the side of the road in the middle of the night, but here it's okay, right? Dubai, Saudi Arabia, the GCC are generally very safe places. We pulled over to the side, we stopped to help this family, and I think my dad helped him out with his tire or something, I don't remember clearly, but when we were leaving, this man wanted to thank us somehow, right? And what he did, I remember he grabbed a ton of food from his car and he brought it over to us and he gave it to us to thank us. But it was like, we were a family of 5 or maybe 6 at that time. The amount of food he brought over to us was way more than what we would consume in just one sitting. I think we would take maybe a day or 2 to finish something like that. What it got me thinking, even at that time, I smiled at that time. I was like, look at this person, right? I don't know what his situation, how much food he has for his family, but we just stopped, we helped him. And the way he thanks us, he doesn't look at us and say, okay, there's 5 people or 6 people in that car. I should give them enough food that would serve them for this. We didn't need food. We weren't hungry or anything. He just wanted to give us thanks. He didn't think about, I should give them, this much amount of food so it would help them for, if they could eat now. He just gave us a large amount of food and drink that would serve us, I think, for 2 or 2.5 days. And I still remember that. It's etched in my brain that that's the way they do business here, right? That's the way their hearts are. That's the way they approach the world. Why fret it? Why worry, right? 2008, the global financial crisis hit Dubai. Just like it hit the rest of the world. I did not hear the Dubai government or the Dubai people even once complain that all this hot money came here from people who wanted to speculate on this property boom in our country. We didn't make a lot of money out of it, but then as soon as the winds turned, these people left. I didn't hear them complain about it. I heard a lot of investors who made a ton of money, and when they lost parts of their money, complain about how Dubai is so bad, etc., etc. I didn't hear the Dubai government or the Dubai local population complain. Instead, they turn things around. They put necessary regulation in place for people to prosper again, come back, build it up again. Big deal, right? Okay, so that's how Dubai's mentality is. And so Dubai is a smaller place than the US. So I can't say that we've got hundreds of people who came here with only a few dollars in their pocket and they've become billionaires. But there's tons of stories of Indians, Pakistanis, Lebanese people, Egyptian people, Syrian people who came from abroad, not local to this country, and then made and turned themselves into billionaires just because they aligned themselves to the thought process of how Dubai thinks, right? So that's number one. Dubai is a place of abundance for everybody and they're willing to share. They don't look at you and think, if this person is making this much money, how do we take his money away? And this is obviously, I was born and raised in Dubai, so obviously the topic's a little bit close to my heart. So I'm going to give you another example. Imran Khan, right? He's the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He came to Dubai in 2018 November, I believe, during the World Government Summit or the Dubai Government Summit, and he was one of the main speakers. And one of the things that he said, obviously, he can learn a lot from Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, in terms of good governance, things to do the right way. And obviously Sheikh Mohammed, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, is somebody he can learn a lot from. And one of the things that Imran Khan said in his speech, right, because you gotta understand something. Sometimes you want to do a lot, but you might need an expert, a mentor, somebody who's already been there to give you a little bit of advice that could completely turn around what you want to do. And His Highness Sheikh Mohammed gave Imran Khan this advice. He said, encourage business and let them make a lot of money, right? And I think that holds true for Dubai. Like, Dubai encourages business and allows them to make tons of money. And the tax, I'm going to talk about this in my next point, the tax threshold is very low. It's almost non-existent in Dubai. So nobody cares about how much money you make as long as you do it without crime, without turning to fraudulently taking money from people. It's okay. And that advice to Imran Khan, if he could implement that in Pakistan, you could see Pakistan develop from where it is now to reach the stars and sky, yeah? Just encourage people, right? Let them make money. Big deal, right? There's a lot of it out there anyways. Number two, the government in Dubai facilitates your success. They do not, I repeat, they don't partner up with you in terms of, they don't partner up with you to take large chunks of your money, right? Look at places like France, okay? Look at places like the USA. I was just hearing about this the other day, and the USA has this large tax base, right? 35%. Essentially, US has 35% of all the money made in the US belongs to the US government. So no matter what business you start and what business you grow and what business you succeed with, you're likely paying 35% of that business in terms of taxes to the government, okay, to the US itself. Now, yes, there's ways around it there are legal ways around to should I use the word avoid paying taxes in the US, because you can have your company based in Singapore or the Cayman Islands, etc., etc. But what's the fun in that, right? Here's the government that's doing the best they can for you, and then you go around trying to chase and not pay taxes, right? So the Dubai government is pretty open. There's 5% VAT right now that was introduced 1st January 2018. That's pretty much where it is. But there's no tax on general revenue that you make or your profit that you make, on your salaries and so on and so forth. And Dubai gives you this high standard of living, so you and your employees are happy living here. Third, okay, my third point for today, look at the population. Okay, concentrate on this. Think about this. Okay, now if you look at Dubai's population, it's somewhere maybe around 3 million, 3.5 million, somewhere around that mark. But don't look at Dubai's population. Look at the population of the region. Dubai sits 4 hours flight time from 4 billion of the world's population. This is, and okay, guess what? 4 billion of the world's population. I've created another video. That talks about millennials, right? There's 1.8 billion of the world's population in that millennial group. I bet you that large percentage of that are in that 4 billion, rather than in the countries like the US, Canada, or Europe, where the population is generally aging, right? So the aging population need less newer services. They need other kind of services like healthcare, pharmaceutical stuff like that. But the hot stuff, that's in this region. Okay, so when you look at Dubai, I don't want you to look at just Dubai's population, but I want you to look at Dubai as a base that serves 4 billion people within 4 hours flight. Why do I say this? Okay, everybody knows Dubai's story, right? Dubai was built as a trading hub, and it kind of like boom, went way out there, way out there. Okay, because everybody from Africa, from Russia, USSR, when USSR broke up, Russia, or the other states from the USSR like Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, they all came to Dubai to buy and then, you know, take stuff from here, etc., etc. This has served Dubai as a great model for about, you know, the last 4, 5, 6, 7 decades. What's the next model? Dubai, does it stay as a trading hub, or it becomes, wait for this, a tech hub? Okay, why do I say this to you? Okay, Dubai was a trading hub for the 40-50 years. Dubai would roll out the red carpet for any company that wanted to come here and do a ton of trade and export and re-import, etc. But you know, that business model is kind of dying because people from Africa used to come to Dubai can now go directly to China and get it. People from India, USSR, etc. Like this drop shipping, etc. There's all these stuff that, you know, you don't need to be a trading hub anymore, right? You want to do something bigger and better. There's 2 Dubai stories that I'm going to talk about in the tech space that are kind of like success stories in the last 5 years. Okay, number 1 is Souk.com. Souk is the Arabic word for market or bazaar. Was founded in 2005 in Dubai, and I think in 2018 it got acquired by Amazon for close to $600 million, if my memory serves correctly. Okay, number 1. So this is a homegrown Dubai success story in the tech space that got acquired by Amazon for about $600-700 million. And Souk, at the time it got acquired, I believe it was operating in 7 countries. Okay, so Egypt, Saudi Arabia, etc., etc. So Dubai is this place where you can easily attract talent from, you know, countries like India, Pakistan, etc. These developers, etc., would like to live in Dubai, give their family a better standard of living that you can find in some of the Asian countries, and then you can serve this massive arena of the world over, right? Especially the 4 billion population that's around Dubai, 4 hours flight. So Souk's one success story. Kareem is another local success story built by a Pakistani and a Swedish gentleman, I believe, and they were at the time that they got acquired were operating in 14 countries and I believe 100 cities. Okay, Kareem is kind of like Lyft, Uber, etc., and they got acquired by Uber for $3.1 billion. Okay, there's I think 1.5 billion dollars was in cash and 1.7 was other than cash. But what I want you guys to focus on is that when they got acquired, the Dubai government leadership paid attention, right? The newspapers paid attention. They were encouraged, and Dubai is headed in that direction. Dubai is going to become a tech hub. You'll notice this. That's going to serve this area for the next 5, 10, 20, 15 years. Now, generally speaking, when you're creating technology, yes, I agree. A lot of technological advancements are localized, but Dubai might do it a little bit differently, and you'll see it'll service the region in ways that other places might not immediately, instantly be able to, right? Because Dubai's got this amazing infrastructure, this standard of living, connectivity with the airports that allows these places to be serviced. Okay, so these are 3 things that I want to share today. Dubai has this abundance mentality. It welcomes you. It doesn't feel scarcity. It doesn't encourage scarcity and unlimited minded thinking. It thinks unlimited. Number two, the government here facilitates your growth. It does not become a partner with you to take away your money. And number three, Dubai is going to change from a trade hub to a tech hub and service 4 billion people in a 4-hour flight zone. Watch and see. Hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. Generally, if you want to work with me on real estate, WhatsApp me. There is a fee involved. I'm happy to let you know how you can do that. You got comments in general or in very specific ways, put it in the comment section. If you got questions, general questions I answer on YouTube, you can reach out to me. Come on, man, hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon. What are you waiting for? Don't be shy. Ciao for now. Bye.